My conversation today is about a subject that nobody want to talk about and nobody want to hear. I know this country that we live in now is bankrupt and people losing their jobs, they're losing their homes, they're getting divorced, food prices are going up, gas prices are going up, other items are going up. But the topic I want to talk about today is about the young generation going into war. Now, I understand the Trump administration cutting back on this program and that program and this program, but when they cut back on the veteran program, that's a hell of a thing. Now, it's a great possibility that we will be going into World War III. In the situation with Israel and Iran. And now that China done stepped in, and now they're talking about India done stepped in as far as protecting the Iranians. And you got other small network around Iran that's going to help Iran out. I think it's a great possibility that we might go to war. Now this young generation is just coming out of high school. Some of them don't know what they want to do with their life. Some of them do. Some of them, they want to be doctors, lawyers, And some of them really want to go into the military service, But the doors that are going into military service is not like the door that was in my ancestors' generation. I had two uncles that retired from the military service. Both of them retired from the Air Force. I had cousins that went into the Army and came back. I'm really truly worried about the young generation and what they are about to get in. Now, it used to be a time that the recruiting officers, they was at school, that they had a office that the young generation could go to and sign up for the military service. Now, the recruiters are going to individual houses and ask them, do they want to sign up for the military service? And I heard that as far as the Air Force, that door has been closed. So either you go into the Army, the Navy, the Marine, and I don't know why they did that, But the thing is that we as parents, we as human beings, have to think about this war on a serious level. How it's gonna have an effect on our young population that's coming up. If they decide to go into the military service, will they have benefits when they come out? I had my brother friend, God bless his dead, Mr. Knox. He was in the Iran Iraq war, and he got messed up with Agent Orange, and he was a healthy dude, muscle build, and he came back. He had respiratory problem. It got worse and worse and worse. He was going back and forth to the bed. Could you imagine? Now, if you had any type of ailment and you go to the vet and they ask you, our funds are low, we cannot help you with this, and you don't serve your country, So I'm really thinking about that situation because I got nieces and nephews that are coming up, and someone was talking about going to college, someone was talking about going into the military service, and I'm really afraid, that if something happened to them, losing a leg, or arm, or a mental problem might come up, they won't be back by the veteran administration because they're cutting so many programs. Now that China came into the situation, now that India is coming into the situation, and now the little networks around Iran is coming to the situation against Israel, and the fact that United States is back in Israel with their broke behind. You know, all the money gone. You know, you got they owe China, they owe Japan, they owe Germany. You know, you go down the list. You know, this country is broke. Why in the hell they want to go into a war? On the news, they talk about Iran got weapon of mass destruction. They've been talking about that for years and years and generations. You know, every time you turn around, they're talking about the same thing. But I'm really worried about that. And I think that we should take the time to talk to our children and see where their head is at. But I have my feeling is that a whole lot of the young generation, they're gonna flee to Canada or Mexico. They're gonna do like the people did in Russia when Russia and Ukraine was getting into war. There's a whole lot of young people, they fled into Poland, the Scandinavian countries. They got the hell out of there, you know. And they don't want to go into a war, a meaningless war, you know, in the name of freedom, in the name of justice, you know, in the name of getting the elite richer and richer and richer, you know. And we have parents, we have to really think about this serious, you know. Every day on the news you're hearing about what Trump is thinking about. Trump said he got 2 more weeks to decide whether or not he's gonna join in and helping Israel. And he's always talking about, you know, assassinating the leader of Iran. I mean, he said that boldly, you know. But today, they've been on my mind. Well, what we as a country, how are we going to protect the young generation? You know, they're getting rid of all the immigrants. They are not. The food shortage is right around the corner. We are in a recession, and they don't want to talk about it. We as a country is really messed up. And every time you turn around, Trump was saying the egg price is going down. And you know for a fact, when you go in the grocery store, the egg price is still high as hell. And he states that the gas prices is going down. And when you go to the service station, you see the gas price is also high. And if you look at the real estate market, the houses and prices are coming down. Now, that's a whole lot of stress on the American people. So, in my opinion, I don't think that we should go to war behind what Israel has started, you know. Every time Israel starts something, they're going to be right there behind it, you know. If Israel have the nerve to go and start that bully war that she did and not being able to protect herself, that's on her, you know. And but we got to protect the young generation, you know. Young people just come out of high school. They really haven't really lived the life that they was put in to live. They want to be able to go to California, New York, Chicago, maybe go to some foreign countries, maybe want to go to Alaska, Australia, you know. They might want to travel, see the world, you know. And you're going to take that away from them? That's a hell of a thing, you know. So, please talk to the young generation and find out what they plan on doing towards the future. Because if they don't get the amount of people that they want in wartime, they're going to implement the draft again. And that's going to be another bad situation, you know. So I'm just taking time to share my thoughts with the family. This is a hell of a situation that this country is in. We are broke. We got a dysfunctional government right now. They're cutting back on programs that's supposed to help the elderly. They got They cutting back on programs that's supposed to have the young, and they cutting back on programs that supposed to have the vet. And with this drug problem that we have in the United States, I don't think it's too many. The young generation could handle that boot camp situation. You know, maybe we could have got around that when we had the so-called illegal aliens here and asked them to join the military, and we'll give them full right citizenship. But that's out the door, you know. And even if they call the so-called illegal aliens back and offer them the opportunity, if you go to war, we'll give you citizenship in this United States of America. And they won't believe it, you know. They won't not trust the word of the United States government. So we are backed up against the wall, whether we go in the war or not. And if the Muslim nation declare a holy war, that means that all the Muslim nation going to come together. And I don't think this country is ready for it. And the way that Trump treated China, and Trump treated Greenland, and Trump treated Mexico, he done got rid of all our allies, you know. And he just gonna pop a step away and start playing golf or some foolish stuff like that, you know. So this has been on my mind, and I want my community to talk to the families. If you don't have children of your own, you may have nieces and nephews, you know, and talk to them about this, you know. And it's going to be a hell of a situation going forward. So that was on my mind, and I'm glad I got it out of my system, you know. So when you have time, please like and subscribe and give me some feedback on this topic. Thank you very much.